What did you make of Jeremy Hunt's speech?
Do you know, it was a strange thing, wasn't it? Because it was very rousing. He was, although he never really delivered speeches with great sort of charisma, dare I say, it was very rousing. It was, we're going to be the new Silicon Valley. It was obviously aimed at tech giants and tech gurus, but it was very much Britain is the future. Britain is, we're going to have, everybody here is going to be investing. This is where CEOs should come and invest in their businesses. So it was very rousing. But on the other hand, this is obviously aimed at tech gurus and tech giants. If you are your average everyday person listening to this speech, you're going to think, how does this apply to me? You know, so it's all very well if you're tech savvy, if your future is in tech, if you already have a startup company or you're at university in tech, that's your future. But if you're the average Joe now listening to that speech, I think you'd be left a bit perplexed as how that will apply to you.
Well, so isn't it the trickle-down principle in the sense that if these wonderful people and entrepreneurs and all the rest of it start setting up in the UK, what that means is more jobs for us, more employability, more income for coffee shops and sandwich shops and all the rest. I mean, it all just helps boost the general economy, doesn't it?
So we say, I mean, we've heard about the trickle-down effect many times, haven't we? And we're yet to really, the average person is yet to feel that, I think. So the trickle-down effect, I agree, could be there, but I think we're all yet to see that. Yesterday he also sort of mentioned, that he wants this, as I say, Silicon Valley, he wants us to be, he said we have unicorn companies now, which, having looked up, means we have our trillion, not billionaire companies, but our trillion turnover companies. So we are, on the world stage in terms of AI now. We're going to be, in the future tech. But again, how does that really apply to the average person who might feel, well, where's my job going to be in that? Where's my future?
You're absolutely right. I mean, that was what I thought. He was talking to businesses and investors, and there was not a lot in it for those of us, man, woman in the street.
Yeah.
Except, first of all, he made it clear he is not going to reduce taxes, so that was one thing. But then again, now that a lot of papers are talking about this morning, the way he's wanting to get more people over 50 back to work and the tax incentives that he is going to offer to them, this is actually not new, is it? Because companies like B&Q and Tesco, they've been employing people over 50, over 60 for a long time because they want their skills, they want their expertise, and they want those older people working for the companies because of what they bring in terms of their general accumulated knowledge over the years.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he mentioned that there are 6.6 million people in Britain who are economically inactive.
Yeah.
So that's not, people on benefits or anything like that. It's people who are choosing perhaps not to work, or perhaps after the COVID pandemic, they didn't go to work and thought, actually, I quite like this, or perhaps they've retired early. I mean, they said over 50. I mean, I'm 45 now. I don't know many people over 50 who aren't working. I mean, most of us are.
So how successful do you think that line is going to be for the public?
I don't know. I mean, I think in a way it wasn't offensive, but I think it was a little bit, well, why aren't you 6.5 million going to work? That's the sense I got from it. And I think, if people have chosen not to work for whatever reason, fair enough. They might have realised during the COVID pandemic, I can be at home and do what I want. I think, of course, it's good to, as you say, value those people's skills. People over 50, 60, 70 have great things to bring. Of course they do. But it was shocking to hear that many people are economically inactive. I hadn't realised.